Hi everyone. My name is John Schneider. I'm manager within Grant Thornton's asset management solution team with Motion Nelson, as you just mentioned earlier, and Spence. I've been working in the asset management world for about 5 years now. So I thank you all for letting me be part of this panel today. I'm going to wrap up the panel with a quick overview of the NALS, or what we call the National Asset Leadership Success Strategy that you've heard mentioned a few times so far in this panel. So this document really builds on what Jack discussed earlier, which was the first iteration of the NALS document. That iteration really provided elements for policymakers to consider in the adoption of a national strategy for asset management. It set a baseline for everything we're talking about today, gave us the tools we needed to develop sector plans that Spence just spoke about a few minutes ago. So about after a year after developing the NALS, we thought it was time to revisit, as Jack mentioned. And so we developed the NALS, National Asset Leadership Success Strategy, which is the organizing framework using proven structures and focusing on enduring principles to vastly improve the asset management in the US with the hope of really persuading political authorities to gain their support. So it will emphasize success in achieving national objectives, provides more definitive policy guidance than we've done in the past, and really does try to cover the incredible breadth of assets that are out there. So natural resources, real estate, personal property, IT assets, space, and military assets. To kind of state it more simply, the purpose of this document is to improve the allocation of both new and existing resources to achieve national goals, and really use those standards as a proven baseline to do this. We believe that the proven structures in place and the enduring principles will vastly improve asset management in the US and promote political awareness and hopefully encourage a positive impact and support. And so when we started doing this, we spent a lot of time thinking about what we wanted to accomplish through NALS. And it's a large undertaking, as I spoke about earlier, looking at policy and management of assets across all the levels of government. So I'd like to just provide you a quick overview of what those objectives were and what we finally landed on. And these are the items we really feel are central to the document. So first, we acknowledge in the problem with transparency and accountability. We then maximize value of existing resources. We define a method for prioritizing future investment. Fourth, which I think Jim had mentioned earlier, is ensuring equitable allocation of resources and financial accountability. And the last one to kind of tie it all together is developing a national approach to national problems and addressing those policy concerns with a policy solution. So I think you'll see these objectives be kind of a theme throughout the next future panels throughout the next couple of weeks. So while the first iteration of the document we spoke about before provided detailed guidance to the reader, we wanted to infuse this version with a little more call to action. So as Moshe spoke about earlier a few minutes ago, the need for a management system approach to asset management has really never been higher. The aging infrastructure is hurting the country across all the different industries. And they're really not siloed to a specific industry. So we really think it's key that there is a systemic approach to infrastructure and assets, especially now in a time with a lot of budgetary unknowns. We know it's essential that all levels of government, federal, state, local, and the private sector, to really get the highest value possible out of their assets. And so while the sector plans that Spence spoke about earlier will really provide those granular details that get us from point A from point B, how do we improve the adoption of ISO 55000? The National Asset Leadership Success Strategy will provide that higher level discussion on the importance of a systemic approach and a management system approach, a government-wide approach to asset management, and really why we do need this now and why it's urgent to move forward on this. So we hope to deliver this to the upcoming Congress and administration later this year.